Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Manchester Field at Mamaroneck High School, an LMC Varsity Sports presentation of Mamaroneck Tigers baseball. With Charlie McGraw, this is Stephen Astis coming to you from Manchester Field. Charlie, it's going to be an exciting game here. Bordering town rivals, Mamaroneck hosting the Scarsdale Raiders. Mamaroneck coming into the game earlier this week, the #1 ranked team in all of New York State. Unfortunately, they hit a road bump, and that road bump was the Scarsdale Raiders.
All right, Scarsdale is 6-7, and one of those wins is against Mamaroneck. And Mamaroneck 13-2, one of those losses against Scarsdale earlier in the week. Down 6-0, Mamaroneck stormed all the way back to tie it at 6. To be beaten by a walk-off in the bottom of the 7th by Scarsdale, and we should have another great game today. The weather is very iffy,
yes,
rainy, and as you can see, we're under Steve's tent that he brought.
That's
but
right.
Very rainy conditions here, but you know Shap was not going to cancel this game unless there was another hurricane.
Yeah, you know that Shap wanted payback for this game. The tarps just came off the field, so we'll have the first pitch coming up in just a moment here on LMC Varsity Sports. So here we are at Manchester Field for the opening action here of the Scarsdale Raiders, being hosted by your Mamaroneck Tigers. As we mentioned, Mamaroneck still clinging to that #1 spot in New York State for Class AA rankings. That is sure to change after a loss to the then 5-7, now 6-7 Scarsdale Raiders. Apologies there. So the starting lineups. Going from left to right at third base, you have Peter Matt, number 20, co-captain. Then at shortstop, Miles Houghton, number 3. The junior, number 27, Mark Adamo, will be batting second, playing second base. And Bill Flato, the #1 pitcher for the Tigers, playing first base. Behind the plate is number 55, the sophomore, Max Bone. In left field is Patrick Cotter. In center, of course, is the other co-captain, Emerson Genovese. And in right field is Matt Waldron, as Truman Devitt toes the rubber and delivers a strike for strike 1 to Andrew Halperin, the junior outfielder for the Raiders. Halperin early on that one lines it down the left field line, foul. 0-2 count to Halperin to start the action here. Truman Devitt actually, Charlie, gave up the walk-off hit to end the game at Scarsdale in a quick relief appearance. Sachin Nambiar was the starter that day, as there's a ground ball, hopper to Miles Houghton in the dirt, gloved by Flato, and we have our first out of the game.
Nice play by Bill Flato on that scoop. But in that game, he was not credited with the loss, so he's still 4-0 is Devitt, because he came in relief, and there was a man on base already when he inherited the run.
Right, so that gets charged to the pitcher of record.
And he is still 4-0.
Unfortunately, the Tigers had 5 errors in that game, as another ground ball is fielded cleanly by Houghton. In the dirt again, but Flato digs it out, backhand, and we have 2 down. That was number 23, Joe Weintraub, the sophomore outfielder for the Raiders. Now striding to the plate is a number 3 hitter, Tyler Mandel, the third baseman, number 15.
And to think Devitt is not even the ace on the staff at 4-0.
Right, with 3 complete games.
Because that's Mr. 2 good scoops in a row at first
Exactly.
there. Flato, who is the ace on the team.
Flato with the veteran leadership and experience, having pitched the championship game and the all-time classic 13-inning 2-1 victory last year here in the sectional semifinal against Arlington. He pitched the first 6 innings of that game, and then Sachin's brother Kumar pitched the final 7 after pitching 80 pitches in the sectional quarterfinal. He came back in the semifinal a few days later to throw another 108 as that ball's in the dirt. Breaking ball doesn't reach the plate, so that's ball 1. 1-2 to the number 3 hitter, Mandel, with 2 outs here in the top of the first.
And of course, Kumar Nambiar now a reliever slash spot starter for Yale as a freshman.
Correct.
Has had a couple good appearances for them and early on his freshman year. Not many players get many appearances, but he's had more than a couple so far. Is winding down his freshman year at Yale for their baseball team. Still plays at the Yale Bowl, New Haven.
That last pitch was just off the plate for a ball, but the breaking ball off-speed pitch had Mandel fooled all the way. So he goes down swinging, and Mamaroneck puts a 0 up on the board for the top half of the first, and they will come to the plate when we return on LMC Varsity Sports. So here we are back at the bottom of the first inning, leading off for the Tigers, the sophomore catcher, Max Bone, number 55.
Sometimes strange to see a catcher leading off there, Steve, but
he's a very athletic player, though, Charlie. Good point. So Josh Klein delivers the lefty, fires low for a ball. 1-0 to Bone.
2 tails of the tape for our starting pitchers as far as stature, with Truman, tall, lanky, long-haired righty, short lefty here. Can't be 6 foot, Ken Klein. The Devitt is about 6'3", 6'4", and a herky, long, winds back there, does Klein.
Right, he really rears back trying to deliver the ball.
As community sports producer Rob Moretti pointed to the roster, and a good full roster as we get the
5'8", 140 on Josh Klein, although looks maybe 5'9".
Another ball pushes the count to 3-1.
Klein is a senior too.
And that pitch drops in for a strike. 3-2 to Max Bone.
Just got the corner there, Steve. Full counter ready though. An easy 1-2-3 for Devitt. He didn't throw that many pitches, maybe about 15, and already this will be the 6th pitch here.
Ooh, and the breaking ball falls over for strike 3 called on Bone. And the ball goes around the horn and back to Josh Klein. Now in for the Tigers, number 27, Mark Adamo. Adamo has had a really fine season as the junior starter second baseman. Moved all the way up in the lineup, has now seemed to entrench himself as the number 2 hitter. That's a foul ball out of play down the right field line. Falls just in front of the new monument in honor of the 3-time state championships that the Mamaroneck Tigers have seized here in the past 7 years. And that ball is just outside the strike zone for ball 1. 1-1 to Adamo. Adamo fouls that one off. 1-2 now to the junior second baseman. Josh Klein is working quickly here. Dry balls are definitely going to be an issue here, Charlie, as it is still raining.
As that ball came directly from the Mamaroneck bench, they didn't even give it to the umpire. They gave it right to Klein, something you don't see often. The home team just throwing the ball to the opposing pitcher. 1-2 now.
And a good shot to the shortstop. He fields it with his belly, and it looks like it might have pulled him off, but the first baseman, number 35, Koji Sakulrat, was able to keep his left foot on the bag, and that's 2 down for Mamaroneck. And the captain, 3-time varsity letterman in baseball, number 20, Peter Matt. Matt is committed to the University of Pennsylvania to play baseball. Matt also played varsity football and basketball this season, and he watches a curveball in for strike 1. 0-1 to Peter Matt.
And that was Scott Kelly with the great play on the front end. Sackelrod made a great stretch, but Kelly's play to stay with it on the tough hop and to take it in with his belly like a human vacuum at shortstop was made a nice clean play. And a good throw, just a little wide, but a great stretch by the lanky first baseman Sackelrod for out number 2.
Right.
As Kelly also will lead off next inning for Scarsdale.
So 1-1 count to Matt, and he lets this one drop in low for ball 2, 2-1. Peter Matt has gained such command at the plate. It really feels more like where is he going to hit it, not is he going to hit it. Lets that one stay up high. 3-1 to Matt.
And to that point, it looks like Klein knows he's a dangerous hitter, and he doesn't want to give him something he can hit over the fence or in the gaps.
Yes, nothing in the meaty part of the zone yet, Charlie.
And get more than just to first base on, and he'll walk him on unintentional, intentional walk there.
Right, exactly. I would say that's pitching around Peter Matt there for the first walk of the game. And now striding to the plate is the California import, number 14 designated hitter today for Truman Devitt. This will be Brian Knapp. This is Brian Knapp's first year at Mamaroneck. He has been one of the leading hitters for the Tigers, coming in very comfortably, stepping into the first base and designated hitter spot for the Tigers. He looks at a strike, 0-1. Ball is high. Matt is off. The catcher double clutched. I'm not sure if that's because the shortstop hadn't reached the bag or if there was some other reason, but Matt is safely into second with the stolen base on a ball high and outside. So it's a 1-1 count to Knapp and a stolen base for Matt. So runner in scoring position now with 2 outs. This is Knapp's forte. It's getting those hits back up the middle. And just like that, over to second base, easily fielded by the second baseman for the 3rd out of the inning. So a walk and a stolen base for Peter Matt, but other than that, the damage is minimal. 0-0 at the end of 1. We'll be back in just a moment. Truman Devitt back on the mound to start the top of the second. He's facing Scott Kelly, the shortstop. And first pitch is just off the plate for a ball, ball 1. Kelly is a senior at Scarsdale High School. And that ball is a line drive. Caught. Rather.
No,
that did not. That bounced. He trapped it. Cotter took a bad line on that. I think he thought that was going deeper than he realized. By the time he turned around, it looked like he got his glove on it, but it did just short hop in for a single.
It was a tough one to read there, Steve. It was tough
To see it and how the line drive was playing, and Cotter thought he was good where he was, but he had to come in on it, and when he did, it short hopped him, and there was a base hit. The field umpire in the field didn't signal, but the home plate umpire did. And it's the first hit of the game as the shortstop who made the great play in the field gets a base hit, does Scott Kelly for Scarsdale.
So 1 runner on, and Devin McDonald, the left fielder, is now at the plate. He saw a ball in his first pitch, so it's 1-0 to McDonald. He shows bunt, fouls that bunt off, goes between Bones' legs to the backstop, so it's a 1-1 count for Devitt facing McDonald. Scarsdale obviously looking to get some runs on the board every opportunity they can, so playing some small ball, trying to get the runner over to second into scoring position. And McDonald runs down to the third base coach, Doc Scholl, to get some clarification on the signs. Steady drizzle here at Manchester Field, a rainy day as the Tigers host the Raiders. As the sectional regular season is nearing a close, Mamaroneck has a home-and-home game versus a dangerous opponent in the White Plains Tigers. And then they finish the season with Arlington. So a tough slate to finish out the season here for Mamaroneck, but Coach Chaparelli wouldn't have it any other way. So after 2 pickoff attempts at first base, Devitt rather deftly drops a curveball in for strike 2 rather. One and 2 count to McDonald after the foul ball on the bunt attempt.
As most pitchers do, Devitt takes his time more as he checks over again. Definitely goes slower from the stretch than he does the windup.
Right. Want to try and keep that runner at first off balance as much as you can so that he doesn't get a good jump. And McDonald goes down swinging, fooled by the off-speed pitch. And Devitt has his second strikeout of the day. Gorgeous breaking ball to the number 5 hitter. So now up is number 37, the DH, Alex Sion. And Sion sends a line drive down the left field line, foul for strike 1. 0-1 to Sion. He is a 5'8" junior for Scarsdale. The rain is picking up a little bit as there's another pickoff attempt of Kelly over at first base. No standing puddles on the field though, so we play on. And Kelly's going, swing and a miss, and the ball a little late to second base, bounces over Adamo's glove, right into Houghton's, who is backing up as he properly should. So runner on second on the swing and a miss. Kelly gets the stolen base.
Definitely both teams might be running a lot as it'll be tough to grip the wet baseball. As that was probably the problem that the catcher from earlier from Harry Chalfin had on the stolen base was he double clutched.
Maybe he double clutched
had a
because
bad
he couldn't
grip
hold
of
on
it.
to it.
That one was you got a decent grip of it, but it's also tougher just in the wet conditions in general. And it doesn't. It's not like it'll slow down your running.
Right.
The wet conditions.
Sion looked to go around on that check swing, but the ump said that he held up, so it's a 1-2 count. Now for the Raiders DH. Holds up again on the breaking ball in the dirt. Now 2-2 for Scarsdale. Truman Devitt very methodical in his approach and delivery. Another off-speed pitch just off the plate. Works the count full, does Alex Sion. So with the 3-2 count and 1 out and a runner on second, we'll see how Devitt handles this situation. The pitch. Another off-speed pitch had Sion way out in front on the changeup. Devitt has said that the changeup is his money pitch. Throws enough fastballs to get them thinking and looking fastball, and then he breaks off a changeup and has them way out in front. So now at the plate is Koji Sakurat. The first baseman sends a fly ball in Waldron's direction. He settles under it and has the third out of the inning. So through 1.5, it is still 0-0 at Manchester Field. We'll be back in just a moment with the Tigers' heart of the order. The start of the bottom of the second inning, Josh Klein, of course, remains in. He threw 19 pitches in the first inning. Devitt threw 2, has 21 pitches, very efficient. 14 of them for strikes. Good job from Josh Klein there, starting off with the first pitch strike to Emerson Genovese. Genovese has been hitting the ball really hard this season. Unfortunately, that one was a slow bouncer to the third baseman, and even Genovese's speed could not beat out that throw. So that is the first out of the inning for the Tigers. Now coming to the plate is the left-handed batter, Matt Waldron. Waldron has played a very sharp right field for the Tigers this season with a diving catch in amongst a bunch of different excellent hits. That was a ball high to Waldron, ball 1. Two and 0 as that one misses the plate as well.
Waldron throws righty, but bats lefty.
Good cut on that one, a little bit late and underneath it, fouls that one off the facade, and it stays up on the rooftop. I wonder how often the custodial staff gets up on that rooftop to collect all the foul balls from this field.
Doubt very often.
On the 2-1 pitch, Waldron tries to stay back on the changeup and fouls that one off to even the count at 2-2. Still no score here in the bottom of the second inning as the umpire collects a dry baseball. Josh Klein gets the sign, shakes him off. They settle on one, and the delivery called strike 3 on the corner. And we seem to have a pitcher's duel on our hands to start this game off as Waldron goes down looking.
Second strikeout of the game for Josh Klein and both were looking. You got Max Bone to lead off the game and now Waldron. And Devitt has 3 strikeouts all swinging for Mamaroneck. As Miles Hawden swings and misses for strike 1.
Hawden has moved around the lineup a little bit here in the beginning of the season, but Coach Chaparelli seems to be feeling his lineup out and has settled on the batting order and the fielding positions. Good pitch there from Klein as Hawden watches that one go by for strike 2.
And that's something you want, Steve, is to settle on a lineup when you only have a couple games left in the before the playoffs.
Right.
Is to be comfortable with so the guys know where they're going to play, and you want familiarity for them so before a game they know where they'll be and what their role is, but especially since they're 13-2.
Right, and you have that luxury being the state champions to sort of feel your way through the season as long as you're racking up the wins, getting players some experience, some exposure, see how they perform in the pressure situations, and then settle on your roster as you get towards the postseason action. Good cut there on the 2-2 count for Houghton. He fouls that one off. Just a little bit out in front of that. On deck is the first baseman, Bill Flato. Flato, normally a pitcher for the Tigers, playing first base here. Oh, the catcher thought Catcher and Klein both thought that they had a called strike 3 on that one, but no. Just off the plate, brings the count full to Houghton.
A lot of umpires don't like when a catcher does that, so we'll see if...
Yeah, we'll see if that hurts him on this call. And in the dirt, and Houghton does not run. He is tagged out. And that'll do it for the second inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers, and coming to the plate for the Raiders will be Chalfin, Varlata, and the top of the order, Halperin. We'll be back in just a moment on LMC Varsity Sports.
Back here on LMC Varsity Sports alongside Stephen Assis, I'm Charlie McGraw here at Mamaroneck High School for some boys varsity baseball action. 13-2 Mamaroneck, although they're 0-1 this year against Scarsdale. So they lost earlier this week, 7-6 on Monday.
Devitt really with the fastball blows it by the batter there, Charlie.
Chalfin, the 8-hitter for Scarsdale, 8-9-1. Chalfin, Varlata, and Halpern. And that, as the pitch is coming from Devitt, and it'll be fouled off by, as he went to the fastball again, and Chalfin fouled this one away towards the Mamaroneck bench.
Right to Chaparelli, as a matter of fact. Got to show off his arm as he delivered it back to Devitt.
Both pitchers through the first 2 innings faced 7 batters, and both pitchers had 3 strikeouts. And now 4 strikeouts on that nasty pitch there as the bench shows their approval. Swung on and missed by Chalfin, and continues to get the batter swinging on the strikeout, does the pitcher Devitt.
They just can't figure out this changeup, Charlie. They are offering at it wildly and way in front. His arm slot and delivery mechanics look identical from changeup to fastball.
As that one is a ball to the number 9 hitter, Stephen Varlata, as there is 1 away, and Devitt, with nobody on, will put that fastball on the outside corner. 1-1.
It's an interesting advantage that Devitt has with this fastball changeup. He just has them totally fooled and unsure of what's coming, whether it's going to be fast or slow.
Nearly got him on that curve, did Varlata. The Devitt. Varlata looked like he may have swung, but they did not appeal, and they decided he did not, and that's a high strike. 2-2 for Devitt as he's looking to strike out 2 in a row here and end the first go-around with 5 strikeouts of the 9 batters that he faced. If he can strike out Varlata here, and he will not, it'll go up the middle. Houghton will have to range to the up the middle. He throws it wide, and a great tag by Bill Flato, and he will tag out Varlata for the second out of the inning. What a play by Bill Flato. Good range there by Houghton, but his arm has been a little shaky, and Flato saved him now 3 times.
Great job by Houghton to range over and get that ball in between his legs, not have to range too far for it. The throw, obviously, down the first baseline towards home plate, but right in line with the runner. So Flato able to rather easily apply the tag.
Right, it wasn't the fastest guy on Scarsdale, so he was able to get him, but the way the throw went right into the runner, Flato's glove was at the runner, so barely had to do anything for the tag. And it's 6-3 for the second out. This one to Houghton again. He'll have it. He'll throw across the diamond, and he'll get him just barely. The leadoff hitter, Halpern, was flying down the baseline, and a good throw by Houghton will get him. And it'll be a 1-2-3 inning, 2 ground outs to Houghton, and a strikeout number 4 for Devitt. We've played 2.5, and it is 0-0 here on LMC Varsity Sports. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports, 8-9-1, Bill Flato, Patrick Cotter, and Max Bone to lead it off for Mamaroneck, looking to get on the board first, as it'll be the 3rd go-around, the 3rd time Mamaroneck is facing Klein as he throws a ball outside, and the 1st time that Flato will see him, and Cotter as well, but Bone will see him for the 2nd time today. The pitch here in the bottom of the 3rd is low, and for a ball number 2. 2-0 to the first baseman, Bill Flato. Normally we see him on the mound, but Flato, as he is the ace of the staff, but with Devitt pitching, the number 2. He's at first, and he's looked pretty good on some scoops of Miles Hodden's throws and a nice tag before.
This is the first time any of us in the production have seen him at first base, but he's definitely handled himself very well, as he will take another trip over to first base, getting the walk there, Charlie.
That'll be second walk of the game for Mamaroneck. First one since the first inning. And the Tigers will have their 9-hitter up now, Patrick Cotter, as Cotter is in left today. There's a ball to him that he had trouble with on the line drive, was able to stop it, but no runs, no one scored on that, so no big deal. As the lefty Klein gets it going with a strike 1 on the inside part of the plate. 0-1 to Cotter, the 9-hitter.
Cotter definitely looking to make up for his misplay out in left field. That was ruled a hit as it fell in front of him, but I'm sure he felt he could have caught that.
So bunts back to the pitcher Klein. He'll have one play to first, and he'll throw it over to first as Sakarat will have it now and just hand it back to Klein for the first out. A sack, 1-3 right back to the pitcher, but Flato was moving over, so he'll get to second easy, and it'll be back to the top of the lineup and Bone. And wasn't the best bunt, but it gets the job done for Cotter.
Bonus had a couple real nice shots so far this season for the varsity squad. The sophomore's bat has been useful, but it's his catching that has kept him in the lineup. He and Jarrett Noctegal have been sharing time behind the plate for most of the season. We'll see how Coach Schiaparelli handles that moving forward into the sectional playoffs.
Definitely a bonus, though, if that Bone is leading off, as Coach Schiaparelli will have Bone come over, and Klein actually just threw to third to stay loose there.
Yeah, I thought maybe there was like some weird appeal going on there, but no one has gotten to third base yet, so that couldn't be.
I guess time was officially out because he called it, so even if he threw it away by accident, you couldn't advance to third, could Flato, and Bone will take the pitch 1-1. As interesting to know what Chap told him. Maybe look for, if he throws that a good pitch, obviously swing away here.
One thing I've learned, Charlie, is guessing what Coach Schiaparelli is thinking is hard to do, especially because he knows everything there is to know about baseball. And so he could be saying anything.
As that's a base hit by Bone. Flato around third. Coach Schiaparelli will send him home. The throw will be cut off and not in time. And Mamaroneck gets on the board first. An RBI single by Max Bone, perfectly placed through the right side and over the second baseman's head for a base hit. And Mamaroneck will strike first. Textbook Mamaroneck baseball. A walk on 4 straight pitches. A sack bunt by Patrick Cotter gets the man to second. Bone has the conversation with Schiaparelli, and then Bone gets a 1-1 pitch, and he hits it the other way for a base hit, Steve.
So I guess his advice was look for the pitch low and away and hit it over the second baseman's head.
And give us a 1-0 lead.
Right, exactly. I don't know if it was that specific, but you get the idea.
That one's going towards us.
Right back up towards us.
And it'll hit down and for strike
got a souvenir there, Mr. McGraw.
As Mark Adamo. If we weren't mic'd up, I might have had to run over and try and catch that, Steve.
We are sort of tied down to our positions here over the right field wall in foul territory.
As Adamo 0-1 to him. Leads have not been that big, but enough to get a jump. Bone will steal second, and he will be out, thrown out by the catcher, as Mark Adamo's at-bat is disrupted there. 1-1, as caught stealing was Max Bone on a perfect throw by Harry Chalfin. Second time somebody has tried to steal on him, and first time he was thrown out. The second time,
I think that was Barlotta, the second baseman, who came over and applied that tag on a beautiful throw from Chapin.
So 2-4, caught stealing.
Chalfin.
2 outs now.
So Scarsdale neutralizes a threat on the base paths.
As that one will be grounded to third. Tyler Mandel up with it, throws over to first, and a reach by Sacklerat will retire Mark Adamo. So 1 run on 1 hit. The first hit for Mamaroneck, and it is a 1-0 lead as nobody left on after the caught stealing. So Mamaroneck leads Scarsdale 1-0 after 3 here on LMC Varsity Sports. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports, 1-0 Mamaroneck leading Scarsdale. Their rival entering the 4th, and that one will be fouled away close to us over here, and it'll be right near the design Steve was talking about before, honoring the 3-time state championships.
Right.
It nearly went in there. And Devitt, a wicked curveball for strike number 2, as Joe Weintraub, the right fielder who grounded out to short, is the batter, and quickly behind 0-2 as Mamaroneck got a run last inning on an RBI single by the leadoff man, the catcher, Max Bone, and it is 1-0 after that.
Devitt definitely has these guys off balance. No one seems to be very comfortable in the batter's box facing him. They just cannot figure out what he's going to throw.
So 0-2 to Weintraub as Devitt gets his sign. Interesting to see what they'll go with here, and they'll go with the curve, but this one will be high, as he was fooled by the curve earlier, so might as well try it again. 1-2 now as the curve just missed high to the right fielder Weintraub, a sophomore listed at 5'10", 150 from Scarsdale. That one's fouled away. Stay 1-2 as Steve, the pitch count on Devitt right now is pretty low.
Yeah, he's still only at 35 pitches here in the top of the 4th inning, so just over 10 pitches per inning. Not bad.
Definitely take that if you're Mamaroneck, and that's a wicked curve once again. Hard to describe it any other way. You don't like to repeat yourself too much, but wicked is a great word to describe that pitch there.
Definitely. For any Boston fans out there, it's a wicked hard curveball. But yeah, like I said, he's fooling them all. They just cannot get a beat on what it is that's going to be coming off that pitching hand of his.
That one was probably the nastiest of the nastiest.
Yeah.
That one was bounced. Not that pitch, the pitch that got Weintraub.
Right. I knew what you meant, Charlie.
But that actually was the first time today, that's strikeout number 5 for him, but the first time that he got somebody looking. Other 4 were all swung at. And that one, another nasty pitch to Mandel, the number 3 hitter, who struck out his first time. 1-1 now, as it's starting to not rain as hard as when we started this one. Looked like the game was in doubt, but earlier in the day, but the tarp was on the field and everything. The field's in pretty good shape. They only had to come to the mound once to put some stuff on it before last inning, and that was when Mamaroneck scored.
Pitch, Charlie.
A great off-speed pitch as we get back to baseball and not the weather, and strikeout number 6, 5th time swinging for the Scarsdale Raiders, and Devitt is looking like he could be an ace of any team, even this team where he is technically the number 2 behind Flato, who's playing first today, who scored the only run of the game. And that one is a curve where he gets the benefit. The umpire loves calling that curve too. As long as it's not too high,
right.
He's calling it for a strike. If it's low and borderline, keeps calling it for a strike, which is all the better for Devitt, as that's a fastball that misses low for ball 1-1, as the only Scarsdale hit is by the man at the plate, Scott Kelly, the shortstop, as he has a stolen base as well.
Right, he was the one who hit that liner to Cotter out in left field, which is probably why Devitt is feeding him so many off-speed pitches here in this at-bat.
The only player besides Koji Sacklerat on Scarsdale to hit the ball to the outfield in this game, as Sacklerat flew out to right field earlier in the game, as that was a half swing there by Kelly, the cleanup hitter, for strike number 2.
That was that kind of swing, Charlie, that's the pitch I wanted. I wasn't ready for it. I'm going to swing anyway, just because, to sort of indicate that I wanted to swing at this pitch.
And that one is a swing and a miss and I will be striking out, and so will the side. 1, 2, 3, striking out the side there was Devitt. He now has 7 strikeouts, and Mamaroneck leads 1-0 through 3.5 as they look to tie the season series at 1 with Scarsdale. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports, as Steve just said to me right before we went on air, 3 base runners only for Mamaroneck, but they got the 1-0 lead as Peter Matt, the 3-hitter, as he hits a foul ball right near us, and Rob will go and get it, abandoning his camera.
But he wants to be that lucky fan. Of course, he has to give the ball back, but
I think he wants a little exercise jog, maybe stay. He's a little cold.
Right.
As that one is fouled away by Peter Matt. 0-2 now. Matt
has a walk and a stolen base, one of the 3 guys to reach base, in addition to Max Bone, who got the RBI single, and
Bill Flado, who walked and scored. As Rob will throw it back, but it'll hit the fence. And Rob did not like that one as Peter Matt fouls it off for the 3rd one.
Could do it again if I tried.
Probably soaked that ball enough to make it unusable now.
in the puddle, yeah, exactly. Peter Matt lucky to foul that one off and live for another pitch. We'll see what he can do with this one.
As the lefty, and another foul ball, number 4, as he's just giving both sides work on retrieving those foul balls.
Great defensive swing there by Matt. Yet again, living for another pitch, hoping that Klein will come at him with something more hittable.
Ball 1-2, first ball of the at-bat.
Definitely have to pitch very carefully to Peter Matt. He has incredibly fast hands and can get the pitches inside and out.
3-star athlete, 3-sport athlete, baseball, basketball, and football, though he got hurt during the football season.
Unfortunately, yes.
Peter Matt will play in college next year
At University of Pennsylvania,
UPenn, the Quakers.
he'll be
Division
playing
I.
baseball.
Yes, he will. As a 3-hitter, state champion last year. To 3rd, and he will beat it out. A base hit for Peter Matt, and it will stay short of the line, where if it went out of play, it would be an extra base hit. But got to give that a base hit.
Oh, definitely an infield hit. The third
'Cause he had
baseman
it
fielded
beat.
it cleanly. Stepped on the bag, actually, as he was fielding the ball. That's how close to the line it was. And then the throw, he just couldn't get enough pace on the throw over to first. Peter Matt's speed beat it out.
So it was Tyler Mandel who made the play. A good play by Mandel, but just, Matt, it looked like Matt had it all the way, and he did.
So this is a familiar sight to Mamaroneck fans, is Peter Matt on base with Brian Knapp at the plate.
Last at bat.
last time this happened was in the 1st inning, and it was a ball. That's a ball.
It was a 4-3 ground out for Knapp as Matt stole 2nd after reaching base on a walk. Even though Matt just had an infield hit, that was a great at bat as he fouled off 4 pitches. And then finally got one he could put in play, and perfectly placed, as that will be safe as Klein's throw over to Sackelrack, not nearly in time to get Matt, as Mamaroneck's bench continues to talk it up. As it'll be a 1-0 to the transfer from California, Knapp, as Matt looking for his 2nd stolen base, and he'll be out. As a great throw by the catcher, as blocking the base was the shortstop, as Coach Chaparelli will come over and get his, he'll argue that he was there before
The ball, and he blocked the base, but I don't know if he'll win this argument. Scott Kelly was the one who was there first.
Interesting situation here. I'm not sure what the rule is dictating whether the shortstop is allowed to block progress to the bag with his legs, because that's obviously what he did. He was trying to get position for the throw, which did beat Peter Matt to the base, but frankly, it looks like Peter Matt slid into his leg before the tag was applied. So if his leg was not in the way, he would have been on the base.
As the home plate umpire comes out and tells Coach Chap, let's get on with this game here. And Chap was like, all right, I'm going. Chap had to look up into the taller umpire there, though, to argue with him.
As it'll be a caught stealing for Matt. 2nd time.
Was that a ball on the pitch? I believe it was.
Yeah, so 2-0.
Right, the scoreboard is not showing.
1-1, I think they just said.
So second time throwing out. First time it looked like the second baseman made the play. Was Stephen Varlata who tagged him out on the throw from Harry Chalfin. And that time Harry Chalfin throws him out by throwing it to the shortstop Scott Kelly, who made the tag.
We have a timeout on the field here, Charlie, as the catcher Chalfin is experiencing some discomfort in some way. He says he's okay.
And they will resume play as Chalfin will retake his crouch position. And stepping back in will be Knapp. So 1-1 count with 1 out following the base hit with the caught stealing. Second hit of the day from Mamaroneck, third hit of the game, and that one is hit to center field by the lefty Knapp, and it'll be retired as Andrew Halpern will catch it for out number 2. So 2 away now as Brian Knapp, the DH, flies out to the center fielder Andrew Halpern for the second out of the inning. Only 3 hits in the game, 1 by Matt, the RBI single by Bone, and 1 by Scott Kelly, the shortstop, as we have 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, and the lefties pitch Josh Klein will throw an off-speed pitch high to the center fielder Emerson Genovese from Mamaroneck, and that one will be taken again by Genovese. 2-0 as Matt Waldron will wait on deck for Mamaroneck, and that one will be hit by Genovese to left field, and Devin McDonald will move over to left center, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So a caught stealing and a fly out to center and left will make it a 1-2-3 inning as the score, despite the hit here at Mamaroneck through 4, 1-0 Tigers. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports alongside Stephen Astis, I'm Charlie McGraw. It'll be the top of the 5th as Truman Devitt throws a pitch, and it is ripped the other way. The man who caught it in the last inning, made the last out, Devin McDonald in left field, will get the inning started with 1 pitch as he goes the opposite way. And that's the tying run here in the top of the 5th as Devitt, after striking out the side last inning, has
7 strikeouts on the game.
7 strikeouts, excuse me.
McDonald with a nice shot there, so fast to the right fielder. There were some people calling for the right fielder to throw it to first, but McDonald sped down the line to make sure that didn't happen.
And ran through the bag, and he'll try and steal second, and he will be out! Throwing him out at second is the catcher, Max Bone.
Gorgeous throw from Max Bone to Mark Adamo at second base, who applied a gorgeous tag to finish out the play. Gorgeous throw, gorgeous tag, out.
Very tough to see, but it was a very close call. Could have gone either way there, Steve, as that'll be fouled away by Alex Cayone.
I think it's Sion. Or Sayon. Another foul ball for Sayon. Caught by a fan up the right field line on the track. The Mamaroneck bench is very talkative today. Definitely up and energized for this game against Scarsdale.
So that is the 3rd caught stealing of the game. That one was fouled. Staying alive was Sion, the DH.
2 good catchers, a little bit of a muddy track. Makes the running a little bit slower. And then the lefty for Scarsdale, keeping the runners on base for that hair longer, makes the throw that much easier.
First, as that is swung on and missed for strikeout number 8. Sion, the DH, struck out for the 2nd time in this one. And as 8 strikeouts averaging about 1.6 per inning now,
Depending on what happens here, as he's through 4 2/3.
These off-speed pitches from Devitt are just filthy. These Scarsdale hitters just cannot figure him out.
As Devitt will throw a fastball high for a called strike to Sackelrat, the first baseman who flew out to the right fielder Waldron in the second inning.
0-1 now.
As that one is taken 0-2.
As it seems like it's later in the day because of the lighting, but that's just because it's been cloudy and rainy all day. No sun today. As it looks, it's almost 7 o'clock, but in reality it's closer to 6 o'clock.
It's actually 5:33 right now, but this overcast sky is definitely giving it that sort of dusk feeling, but it's been this way the entire day.
As Devitt with another strikeout.
As that is strikeout number 9 for him. And
You've got to figure, Charlie, that these hitters are as frustrated as can be, thinking this guy isn't overpowering us. We just can't seem to time up his pitches. But that is what pitching is about. Being able to deliver it and keep your hitters off balance so that they can't time up your fastball and send it for a ride. Just a beautiful demonstration of pitching by Truman Devitt here today.
As we head to the bottom of the 5th, and it's 1-0 Mamaroneck. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports alongside Steven Assis, I'm Charlie McGraw. Bottom of the 5th inning, Mamaroneck looking to add to their 1-0 lead. That one run came in the 3rd, and it
Matt
was
Waldron at the plate.
as swung on and missed by Matt Waldron on the first pitch, as Bill Flato scored the only run of the game on a walk, and that one will be grounded to Sackelrat, and he'll step on first. So Waldron, 2-pitch at bat, grounds out 3 unassisted to start the bottom of the 5th. And Miles Houghton, the shortstop, will come in as he struck out in his first at bat. And it's been that kind of game. If this pace continues,
This will be his last at bat. He'll only get 2 at bats because
at this pace,
if Mamaroneck can hold on in 7, he won't come up in the 6th or 7th. And Houghton trying to single for a hit, but it hit him twice. Good call by the umpire right on top of it. As Houghton trying to use his speed to get on a bunt, the speed we saw on the basketball court quite a number of times. Those breakaway dunks.
It's lucky that it hit him where it did, because another step he would have been out of the box and out.
Another good job by the umpire to call it the way he did foul, because to notice where he was when he hit it.
Truman Devitt has thrown 54 pitches in today's game so far, 40 strikes. That is true to form for Devitt. He is a high strike pitcher. He just keeps it over the zone and keeps them fooled on velocity.
And he has 9 strikeouts, 8 swinging, just 1 looking. As Rob Moretti, our community sports producer, tweets #Truman Show. As that one will be swung on and missed for the second strikeout of the day for Miles Houghton, as 2 quick outs retired here by Klein, and Bill Flato will come to the plate looking to score his second run of the day, as he scored the only one, as Harry Chalfin will lead it off for Scarsdale in the top of the 6th inning. Coming up next, 8-9-1 they have. And this one is a curve that misses big time by Klein. 1-0 now, as Flato, the first baseman.
To give you an idea of the difference, Klein has thrown 66 pitches, now 67, and only 39 of them for strikes. So 13 more pitches and 1 less strike thrown. Shows you the command that Devitt has.
2-0 pitch, a little low, but
Flato wanted to rip at it, and good pitch to do so in that count, but just tips it back as it's caught by the catcher Chalfin for strike 1. 2-1 to Flato now.
And proof positive that this is a pitcher's duel is the fact that as Flato takes a swing at a low strike, proof positive that it's a pitcher's duel, both of them have a whip under 1. Whip is walks plus hits per innings pitched, which basically counts the number of base runners, as Flato watches strike 3 on the outside corner.
So back-to-back strikeouts there for Klein. He has 5 through 5 now, and we will head to the 6th, and Scarsdale will look to tie it here at Mamaroneck as it's 1-0 Tigers.
At the start of the 6th inning, this is Steven Astis with Charlie McGraw. I'll take over the play-by-play for the last 2 innings, assuming this is the last 2 innings of this pitcher's duel. 1-0 game as a ball rolls right to the plate. Looks like there is a relief pitcher warming up. No, relief pitcher warming up. That's why the ball went over. But yes,
we have a pinch hitter here.
Have a pinch hitter in the game.
Will pinch hit for Scarsdale.
Batting in the catcher's position.
As he can re-enter, can the catcher,
Right. I'm
Chalfin.
suspecting this might have something to do with that delay in action where he was behind the plate sort of on one knee. So first pitch is a ground ball to Miles Houghton. Takes the interesting hop and fires it over to first. Cleanly to Flato for out number 1.
Interesting take for Harrison Novak. You spend the first 5 innings on the bench, you come in, and the first pitch you see, you swing at. Was able to make contact.
A mid-inning replacement would look at a pitch, if not 2 pitches, but he was swinging away at the first one.
As there's major leaguers who make careers on that.
Like Lenny Harris, best pinch hitter of all time, as that's fouled away
By the 9-hitter Steven Varlata, as we'll let you know if they do. It looks like Chalfin will go back in the game, or maybe they'll go with a different catcher, but you can re-enter.
Right. Novik is not listed as a catcher in the roster from Scarsdale, so you'd assume beautiful curve from Devitt has Varlata turn his back entirely to the pitcher, worried that it's going to hit him, and it drops in for strike 2.
That's what you call a bender, Steve.
Ooh, that pitch high and tight to Varlata for ball 1. 1-2 count here with 1 out in the 6th inning. Devitt in command on the bump. And here's the pitch. Curveball gets him for strike 3, swinging. And we have 2 outs here at Manchester Field.
As another devastating pitch by Devitt, and he has 10 strikeouts now, double digits, as he gets Varlata and Andrew Halpern,
The center fielder leadoff hitter, who's grounded out to Miles Houghton twice in the game.
You can see Devitt's confidence in growing with each start he has made throughout this season. Beautiful pitch there, stayed a little high for ball 1. 1-0 to the leadoff hitter, Andrew Halpern, a junior outfielder. He looks at strike 1 on the outside corner, evens the count here as Devitt is only at 61 pitches thrown for the game.
Classic pitcher's duel here going on.
That ball is a sky-high pop fly. Flato drifts back and catches it just on the outfield grass. So Truman Devitt has a 7-pitch first, a 14-pitch second, a 9-pitch third, a 15-pitch fourth, and then a 9-pitch fifth and an 8-pitch 6th inning. Talk about pitching efficiency. Truman Devitt dominant on the mound. 1-0 Mamaroneck as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Josh Klein remains on the mound for the Scarsdale Raiders. At the plate is Patrick Cotter. He swings at the first pitch. Soft fly ball in between the second baseman and right fielder, and the right fielder, number 23, Joe Weintraub, correctly and wisely calls off the second baseman who was ranging out and fields that can of corn for out number 1 off the bat of Patrick Cotter.
It's just an easier play for the right fielder Weintraub to make it, as opposed to Varlata, who was running hard right at him as he's
Coming in, Varlata's going out, and he was closer to it as well, so he calls for it wisely and makes the catch Somebody yelled something right as he caught it in addition to him, but
was able to make the catch on the first pitch swinging by Cotter, who gave the ball a little decent ride, but wasn't able to do it, as Max Bone, who has the single and RBI, was also caught stealing in the third.
Bone with a nice line drive down the right field line, just out of play, over the foul line fence that keeps the track from the field into the long jump pit, as a matter of fact, and through for ball number 1.
Just 2 hits for Mamaroneck, and both guys were caught stealing in the third and fourth.
Another sky-high pop fly. This one is close to being playable, but it does fall to the ground safely for a foul ball. 1-2 for the sophomore catcher, wearing number 55 for the Tigers, batting at the top of the order for Mamaroneck here in the 6th inning.
As Weintraub just could not get to that one,
as it looked like he had a shot at it, but it was too close to the fence.
Right,
and
he
didn't
was
know
running
how
pretty
to judge
fast.
It.
Yeah, exactly. It was hard for him to get over and make that catch. Good point, Charlie.
It would have been a very nice catch could he have got there. It was possible.
Also could have been a trip to the hospital if he ran any harder.
Right, it was possible, but the judgment call.
1-2
low.
over the plate for strike 3 called. The second strikeout looking for Bone today. He struck out in the first looking and struck out here in the 6th looking, but he is responsible for the only run on the board with his RBI single. And a foul ball by Adamo comes right back up towards us. 0-1 for the second baseman. Josh Klein has thrown 76 pitches here now. 77 now with that ball high. He has thrown 47 for strikes for a 61% strike percentage. And that just took a dip as Adamo sees a ball in the dirt now for a 2-1 count. By comparison, that's his father, James Devitt. James's son, Truman, has thrown 62 pitches, 46 of them for strikes. Really a perfect ratio for a pitcher that does not have overpowering velocity. Good line drive there from Mark Adamo. Goes right up the middle for a single, and Adamo's on base with a 2-out single.
Third base hit of the game for Mamaroneck, Max Bone. The leadoff hitter had one in the third. Peter Matt had one in the fourth. Both of them were caught stealing, and now the Peter Matt, who's the third hitter, who's coming up now, now the number 2 hitter, Mark Adamo, has the third hit, and we'll see if he can avoid being caught stealing like the other 2 players who got hits.
But 1, 2, and 3 have the 3 hits, Steve, for Mamaroneck today.
So Adamo gets on just as the heart of the order comes up, and Coach Schiaparelli has Peter Matt bunting.
With 2 outs?
With 2 outs.
I think that was just...
that could have just been a rogue decision by the captain, thinking maybe he could bunt for a single there and get Knapp up to the plate with 2 runners on.
As he kept it like waving, like he tried to bunt it, but it was out of the zone. And that's why it was a strike. It's not like he pulled back late, as it's 1-1 on that
just
ball.
Just as he squared to bunt, I was pointing out, Charlie, that Coach Schiaparelli couldn't be happier to have the heart of the order up with a runner on, even with 2 outs. And they throw over to try and keep Adamo honest. The lefty with the advantage, being able to face first base as he gets set in the stretch position. He delivers a ball high, so it is now 2-1. Hitters count to Peter Matt. We'll see if Klein tries to pitch around Matt and face Knapp with a 2-1 count. Another pitch high and outside to Matt. 3-1 count. He's going to have to fit this one in a mailbox to get Matt to swing at it. Have to imagine the Schiaparelli would be giving him the green light because they want to plate this run here. Peter Matt with 2 home runs on the season.
Especially with the count 3-1.
On a dribbler towards the first baseman. He fields it to end the inning. So it'll be up to Truman Devitt if they send him back out to finish the game, as I imagine they would. I didn't see anyone warming up in the bullpen. We'll find out in just a moment here at Manchester Field on LMC Varsity Sports. So here we are at the top of the 7th inning, and it is Truman Devitt back out on the mound. One change in the field for the Tigers. Stuart Williamson has replaced Patrick Cotter out in left field. Other than that, the lineup stays the same. Max Bone is behind the plate, and Joe Weintraub, the right fielder, 0 for 2 on the day, is at the plate for the Tigers. The Raiders. Ground ball to Miles Houghton. Easily fires it over to Bill Flato, and that's one away.
Second time Joe Weintraub has grounded out to shortstop, and Miles Houghton is able to make the play. First time was a short hop throw, but a nice play by Flato way back in the first inning. And he also struck out, so he'll finish 0 for 3. Tyler Mandel comes up.
Yep.
Looking to avoid the 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He's already struck out,
He struck out in the first and the fourth.
2 of the 10 strikeouts have come courtesy of Mandel.
Yep.
From Devitt.
Well, he's not alone. As you mentioned, there are 10 strikeouts. Everyone on the roster
except for Halpern, the leadoff guy.
Fly ball out to Genovese. He gets under it. He and Waldron communicate properly. Genovese calls him off. And Mandel is able to avoid the sombrero, the golden sombrero of going 0 for with strikeouts. But nonetheless, he is out on a fly ball to Emerson Genovese. And that brings up Scott Kelly.
So that pitch was high for ball 1 to Kelly. He's got one of the 2 hits.
Right.
Stole a base and got the furthest of any to second base, did the Scarsdale shortstop.
As he made his one play nicely in
Pitch
the
is
field.
in there for a strike on the curveball. 1-1 count with 2 outs. And it all comes down to Scott Kelly. Swing and a miss at another curveball. So they are 1 strike away from another complete game shutout. This one on the arm of Truman Devitt. Kelly fouls that one off to stay alive.
It's the first 2 outs of the inning were
Recorded on the first 2 pitches.
ground ball to short and then a fly ball. 2 pitches,
2 outs, but Kelly making Devitt work a little harder, as this will be the 4th pitch of the at-bat. Actually, that was the 5th now.
Ball in the dirt to Kelly, evens the count at 2-2.
Kelly not making it easy on Devitt here.
You hear some Cobra Kai references from the Mamaroneck dugout, looking for Devitt to finish off Kelly mercilessly, but Kelly able to lay off that ball low and outside, and it's a 3-2 count.
Kelly doing everything you expect from your cleanup hitter.
Line drive, falls in for another base hit for Kelly. Stuart Williamson chases it down and charges in on it, but unable to get to it. So the 3rd hit of the day, the 2nd hit for Kelly. And that will bring up Devin McDonald with the only other hit of the day. He is 1 for 2 after striking out in the 2nd and singling and getting caught stealing in the 5th. Pitch is low and outside for ball 1. 1-0 count as Kelly takes his lead off first.
as just in case they could tie it, Roy Krishnan is warming up for Scarsdale.
Devitt checks Kelly over at first base. He is back in there easily. And once again,
It'll be probably not sending him, is it? Would like him in scoring position, but it would be too risky.
Right.
You don't want to end the game on a caught stealing, that's for
exactly
sure.
right, Charlie.
Especially since they had caught stealing earlier, even though it was Devin McDonald, and Kelly did steal a base earlier in the game after he singled. But definitely got him a little rattled, as they have to call a mound conference here as Matt, the captain, comes in to talk to the catcher, Bone, and Devitt. Just a sophomore is the catcher, Bone. But Kelly definitely got him a little rattled, having to throw over a couple times.
Peter Matt came over and talked to Devitt near the end of the Fox Lane game as well. We'll see if it has the same effect to settle Devitt down and finish off these Raiders.
And in that effect, it worked, Steve.
It definitely did. 4-1 victory over Fox Lane. Pitch stays a little high. 2-0 to the batter.
We've seen that curveball miss throughout the game. That high umpire hasn't called that high strike on that curve. As mentioned before, called that curve in the middle low. So calls the high strike though on the fastball right there. Basically the same location, but that was a fastball as opposed to the curve. 2-1.
It had been a steady diet of off-speed pitches for Devitt, so he fires in a fastball there to get the first strike, and then checks on Kelly once again.
Imagine a pickoff to end a game. That's something you'd never want, especially
For Kelly.
Right. So the delivery is high again for ball 3-1. Now, not necessarily the worst thing to put McDonald on, if only because the next batter has struck out both times he faced Devitt. That's a fly ball to Waldron. He moves back on it, and that will do it. So, after a solid catch in right field by Matt Waldron, that locks up the victory for the Mamaroneck Tigers and Truman Devitt, who on 76 pitches gets out of here with the complete game shutout, his fourth complete game of the season. Devitt with a fantastic job of pitching. Had thrown only 76 pitches, 54 of them for strikes. Only went into double digits pitching in 3 separate innings, the second, the fourth, and the seventh. Not coincidentally, those are the only innings where a base runner got on base. So that'll do it here from Manchester Field. The 1-0 victory for Mamaroneck over their rival Scarsdale Raiders. We'll be back in just a minute with post-game interviews and reactions. For Charlie McGraw and Stephen Astis, I want to thank you for watching.
Back here on the postgame show with catcher Max Bone. And Max, you had the winning hit. Tell me about that at bat. It was in the third inning, but only RBI of the game, 1-0 win.
Well, I think after I went down looking my first at bat and took the first strike, I was really ready to get up there and hit, and he threw me a curveball. I took it the other way, and I think we didn't know it then, but that was going to be the game winner.
Yeah, it was a tough game as 3 hits on both sides. Tell me what it's like in a game like that where the one run's the difference.
Well, I think it's really a defensive battle, and Truman showed up today, and he really got it done with 70 pitches through and 10 Ks. I think that was very impressive, and it really helped us to put us over the top.
And as a catcher and just being a sophomore as well, with a guy like Truman who's pitched really well, is not even the ace technically, Billy is. How is it to catch a guy like Truman who has such great off-speed stuff? Some of those pitches were just nasty.
I think it's great. He has such confidence out there, and when he throws his off-speed, he has such confidence with it that it just makes it so much better.
And you guys are now 14-2, playing real well. What's it like to be on a team just as a sophomore? I'm looking to repeat as state champs, but playing in a groove right now.
I mean, it's great. I think that last year I looked up at the team from freshman, and I looked and I said, like, that's awesome. Like, they're state champs. I want to do that. And I think once we caught our groove a few games back, I think we're all feeling it right now, and we're really wanting to do it again.
I'm here with Coach Mike Schiaparelli after a 1-0 victory against the Scarsdale Raiders. Coach, they gave you a loss, 7-6. I'm sure that had to hurt a little bit. It was nice to get a victory back here, right?
Well, it was nice to win and make plays. We made no plays on Monday, and that's why we lost the game. It was good to see our kids come out and make all the plays. We didn't make any errors, and if we did that on Monday, we would have swept the Raiders, but we didn't do that.
Talk about Truman Devitt. He has really proved himself and grown as a pitcher over the past couple seasons, but really this season stand out through and through.
Well, a guy who throws strikes, hits spots, it's going to be hard to beat that kid. I mean, he has one walk at 6 starts, right. So it's pretty good. Now it's covering 41 innings, one walk. You're not going to lose many games.
We were talking about in the broadcast how when you're an overpowering, dominant fastball pitcher, you can have your strike percentage even higher. But when you're throwing off-speed pitches like that, throwing it at about 75% strike clip, that's right where you want it.
Yeah, he's very good at hitting spots, very calm, never loses his focus in the moment, and he's been a great plus for us this year, behind Billy.
So you've got a couple of really tough tests coming up. You have a home-and-home with White Plains, and then Arlington to finish the season. A couple thoughts on how you're going to finish out.
Well, we have to go on White Plains on Saturday and win if we want a shot at that league. So that's a huge game. Our boys will be ready for it. We're going there on Saturday and then battle, and then if we're lucky enough to get that win, we'll come here Tuesday and try to win out the league on Senior Day.
So that'll do it here from Manchester Field. Charlie, a fantastic pitcher's duel between Josh Klein and Truman Devitt. We went over some of the stats. Truman Devitt throwing 74% of his pitches for strikes. He had plenty of first pitch strikes, and the strikeouts came as a result.
Yeah, I think 0 walks or 1 walk.
And what was it, 10 strikeouts on the day?
That's an amazing ratio. And 9 swinging. He had the guys swinging at it because of the changeup and the curveball as well. And Steve, it was a pitcher's duel. It was relevant of the weather. You know, the weather was bad and dreary, and everyone wanted to get out of here, especially the pitchers.
Right.
And they pitched so well that to do that. But a great job by Truman Devitt, and really looked like an ace out there. And a great game for Mamaroneck, and they looked definitely got the revenge they wanted to. As we said, Shap was not going to let this game get postponed another day. He wouldn't have been able to sleep if they had to postpone this game another day.
Absolutely. So Mamaroneck showing their steely resolve by bouncing back after a deflating 7-6 defeat at the hands of these same Scarsdale Raiders, coming back with a 1-0 victory. A really impressive performance all around for Mamaroneck, fielding, hitting, and pitching. So that'll do it here at Manchester Field. For CEO Eric Lewis and COO Matt Sullivan, for our sports producer Rob Moretti, Charlie McGraw, and I'm Stephen Astis for LMC Varsity Sports.